Hello everyone, welcome to Apex. So this is Deepak Nemani, your LRDI mentor at Apex. So in this video, I will be analyzing and solving LRDI section of CAT 21 slot 3. Now before we dive into this video, if you find this video useful, please like this video. To more videos of this kind, please subscribe to our channel and do share this video with your friends who are preparing for CAT 23. So without any further delay, let's get started. Now coming to set 1. 3 reviewers, Amal, Bimal and Komal are tasked with selecting questions from a pool of 13 questions, question 1 to question 13. Questions can be created by external subject matter experts or by one of the 3 reviewers. Each of the reviewers either approves or disapproves a question that is shown to them. Their decisions lead to eventual acceptance or rejection of the question in the manner described below. If a question is created by an SME, so if we have SME creating a question, then this question will be first reviewed by A and then by B. Now if both of them approve the question, so if we have Amal approving this question and Bimal approving this question, then it is not reviewed by Komal and the question is directly accepted. And similarly, if we have both of them disapproving this question, then the question is directly rejected and not reviewed by Komal. But if one of them approves the question and the other disapproves it, for example, if we have A approving the question and B disapproving that question, then that question is reviewed by Komal, right? And the question will be accepted only if Komal approves it. Then the final decision maker is Komal, right? Now this is when if we have a subject matter expert creating a question. Now a question created by one of the reviews is decided upon by the other two. If a question is created by Amal, so if we have Amal creating a question, then it is first reviewed by Bimal. Now if Bimal approves the question, then it is accepted. Now if we have Bimal disapproving that question, then Komal will be reviewing the question, and if Komal approves the question, then it will be accepted, and if Komal disapproves, it will be rejected, right? Now similarly, if we have B creating a question, now these questions will be first reviewed by Komal. Now if Komal approves that, it will be accepted, and if Komal disapproves that, then that will be reviewed by Amal. Now if Amal approves it, it will be accepted, and if Amal disapproves it, it will be rejected. Alright. Now similarly, a question created by Komal will be first reviewed by Amal, then Bimal. Right. Now we are given with additional 4 statements. Questions 2, 6, 9, 11 and 12 were rejected and the other questions were accepted. So among these 13 questions, we have 5 questions being rejected and 8 questions being accepted. Now Amal reviewed only questions 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 and 13. Bimal reviewed only 2, 4, 6 through 9. So that means 6, 7, 8 and 9. Question 12 and 13. Now Komal reviewed only question 1 through 5. That means questions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 11 and 12. And we are asked 6 questions based on the given information. Now I don't see any difficulty in understanding the information that is given to us. Now if we have any question being reviewed by Amal and Bimal, then that question is created by either SME or Komal. Now if we have any question reviewed by all these 3 reviews, then that question is created by SME. For example, question 2. Question 2 was rejected. Question 2 was reviewed by Amal. Question 2 was reviewed by Bimal and Komal. Right, and we have Komal rejecting that question. So if you have all the 3 reviewers reviewing that question, I can say that that was made by SME. Komal would have reviewed question 2 because one of Amal and Bimal had disapproved that question and the other person had approved that question. So then only you will have Komal reviewing that question, and that question was created by SME. Right, so the data is pretty much clear. It's very understandable. So I don't consider this to be a difficult set. This is a moderate level set only. So if all the remaining 3 sets are difficult, you can consider starting your attempt with this set. Now moving ahead to set 2. Each of the bottles mentioned in the questions contain 50 ml of the liquid. So in all these questions, we need to consider bottles containing only 50 ml of liquid. Now the liquid in any bottle can be 100% pure content or can have certain amount of impurity. Visually, it is not possible to distinguish between P and I. There is a testing device which detects impurity as long as the percentage of impurity in the content tested is 10% or more. Now for example, if we have a bottle containing 100 ml of some liquid, and if the impurity is 5 ml out of that 100 ml, so impurity percentage is 5%. So that will not be detected here. For impurity to get detected, its percentage should be 10% or more. Now, for example, if there is a bottle containing 100 ml of a liquid, out of which 10 ml is impurity, then you have the testing device detecting that impurity. Whereas in a bottle of 100 ml of liquid, if the impurity is only 5 ml, then you do not have that testing device detecting that impurity. Right? Now, for example, suppose bottle 1 contains only P and bottle 2 contains 80% P and 20% impurities. Whereas if content from bottle 1 is tested, it will be found out that it only contains P. If content from bottle 2 is tested, the test will reveal that it contains some amount of impurity. If 10 ml of content from bottle 1 is mixed with 20 ml of content from bottle 2, the test will show that the mixture has impurity, because in that mixture you have 10% of impurity. Right? Whereas if 10 ml of content from bottle 1 is mixed with 5 ml of content from bottle 2, the test will not detect any impurity because the impurity content is less than 10%. And we are asked 4 independent questions based on the given information. And 3 out of these 4 questions were asked to find the minimum number of tests. Right? And you should be very careful while attempting these type of questions. Right? So this is a set from quant based reasoning, that too from mixtures. Right? So if you are good at mixtures, you can try solving this set. Right? I consider this set moderate because there might be some traps in these questions. So if you consider yourself good at mixtures, you can consider starting your attempt with this set. Otherwise, if I have to pick one set between these two, that would be set 1. Moving ahead to set 3. The figure above shows the schedule of 4 employees A, B, D and T whom Dhoni supervised in 2020. Altogether, there were 5 projects which started and concluded in 2020 in which they were involved. For each of these projects and for each employee, the starting day was at the beginning of the month and the concluding day was the end of the month. And these are indicated by left and right end points of the corresponding horizontal bars. For example, if I consider A in project 1, A started working in project 1 on Feb 1st and ending on March 31st. And the number within each bar indicates the percentage of assigned work completed by the employee for that project as assessed by Dhoni. For example, if I consider A in project 1, A had completed 100% of the work that was given to him by Dhoni, whereas T had only completed 80% of work. Now for each employee, his or her total project month is the sum of number of months she worked across the 5 projects, while his or her annual completion index is the weightage average of the completion percentage assigned from the different projects, with the weights being the corresponding number of months he or she worked in these projects. For example, let's try finding out the project month of A. Now A had spent 2 months in project 1, 0 in project 2, then 2 in project 3, then you have 5 in project 4 and 0 in project 5. So the total project month spent by A will be 2 plus 2 plus 5, that is 9. Now let's find the annual completion index. That is the weighted average of completion percentage assigned from the different projects, with the weights being the corresponding number of months he or she worked in these projects. For example, we have A completing 100% of the work that is assigned to her by Dhoni in these 2 months. So it will be 2 into 100. Plus, again in these 2 months she had completed 100% of work, so 2 into 100, plus in these 5 months she had completed only 80% of work, so 5 into 80 divided by total number of months, 2 plus 2 plus 5, that is 9. Now this will be the annual completion index of A. And similarly, for each project, the total employee month is the sum of the number of months 4 employees worked in this project, while its completion index is the weighted average of completion percentage assigned for the employees who worked in this project, with the weights being the corresponding number of months they worked in the project. Right? For example, if I consider project 1, now total employee month will be, you have A working for 2 months, B working for 2 months, T working for 2 months. So employee month will be 6. Similarly, we can find employee months for project 2, project 3, project 4 and project 5. Now coming to completion index, let me consider project 2. Now for project 2, we have D working for 3 months, completing 90% of the assigned work. So 3 into 90, plus similarly we have T working for 2 months, completing 100% of the assigned work. So 2 into 100, by total number of months these 2 persons had worked for project 2. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So by 5, that will give us the completion index of a project. Now, once you had understood this data, you can answer all the 4 questions. For example, which of the following statements is or are true? The total project month was the same for all 4 employees. Now, we have A working for 9 months, B working for 2 months in project 1, 4 months in project 3, and 3 months in project 5. So, in total, B worked for 6 plus 3, 9 months. Now, coming to T. T worked for 2 months in project 1, 2 months in project 2, then 3 months in project 4, and 2 months in project 5. So total number of months is 9. And we have D working for 3 months in project 2, 3 months in project 3, 2 months in project 4, and 1 month in project 5. So we have D working for a total of 9 months. So the total project month was the same for all the 4 employees, which is 9 months. So this is true. Now coming to second statement, the total employee month was the same for the 5 projects. So employee months for project 1 is 6. For project 2 it is 3 plus 2, 5. For project 3 it is 2, 2 plus 4, 6, 6 plus 3, 9. For project 4 it is 5 plus 2, 7, 7 plus 3, 10. And for project 5 it is 3 plus 1, 4, 4 plus 2, 6. So this statement is not true. So the answer for this question should be option A. So you can simply answer this question just by looking at the graph. Now if I have to start my attempt with one of these 3 sets, that will definitely be this set. Now coming to set 4. 10 players P1, P2 so on till P10 competed in an international javelin throw event. The number after P of a player reflects his rank at the beginning of the event, with rank 1 going to the topmost player. So we have P1 being the topmost player initially. There were 2 phases in the event, with the first phase consisting of rounds 1, 2 and 3, and the second phase consisting of rounds 4, 5 and 6. A throw is measured in terms of the distance it covers in meters up to 1 decimal point accuracy, and only if the throw is a valid one. For an invalid throw, the distance is taken as 0. A player's score at the end of round is the maximum distance of all his throws up to that round. Okay, for example, if I consider first, second and third rounds, now in order to find the player's score at the end of round 3, okay, we will be considering the maximum distance of all his throws in rounds 1, 2 and 3. Players are re-ranked after every round based on their current scores. In case of a tie in scores, the player with a prevailing higher rank retains the higher rank. This ranking determines the order in which the players go for their throws in the next round. In each of the rounds in the first phase, the player throws in the increasing order of their latest rank. That is, the player ranked 1 at that point throws first, followed by player ranked 2 at that point, and so on. The top 6 players at the end of the first phase, that is after rounds 1, 2 and 3, qualify for the second phase for the rounds 4, 5 and 6. In each of the rounds in the second phase, the players throw in decreasing order of their latest rank. That is, the player ranked 6th at the point throw first, followed by the player ranked 5th at that point, and so on. The players ranked 1, 2 and 3 at the end of the 6th round receive gold, silver and bronze medals respectively. All the valid throws of the event were of distinct distances as per stated measurement accuracy. The tables below shows distances covered by all valid throws in the first round and the third round in the event. Distances covered by all the valid throws in the first round. We are given with player 1 82.9, player 3 81.5, player 5 86.4, player 6 82.5, player 7 87.2 and player 9 84.1. Now we are given with scores of 6 persons. So I can say that players 2, 4, 8 and 10, their scores are zeros. So in round 1, the score is highest for P7. So he will be throwing first in round 2, followed by P5, followed by P9, then followed by P1, then P6 and then P3. Then you will be having P2, P4, P8 and P10. Now distances covered by all valid throws in third round. So we have only 3 players having valid throws in third round. They are P1, P3 and P9, and we are given with the distances 88.6, 79 and 81.4. Now I can say that P1 score after round 3 will be 88.6 because we need to consider the maximum of these two. Whereas P3 will be 81.5 only because 79 is less than 81.5, and P9 that will be 84.1 only. Right, and we are also given with additional 5 statements. Among the throws in second round, only the last 2 throws were valid. Both the throws enable these players to qualify for the second phase. Now among the throws in the second round, only the last two throws were valid. So I can say that the last two throws were of P8 and P10. Right, both the throws enable these players to qualify for the second phase. So we have P8 and P10 qualifying for second phase. Now with one of them qualifying with the least score, also between P8 and P10, one was having the least score. Now none of these players won any medal, so you do not have P8 and P10 winning any medal. Now coming to statement 2, if a player throws first in round and he was also the last to throw in the previous round, then the player is set to get a double. Two players got double. Statement 3, in each round of the second phase, exactly one player improved his score. Each of these improvements was made by the same amount. Statement 4, the gold and bronze medalists improved their scores in the 5th and the 6th rounds respectively. One medal winner improved his score in the 4th round. Fifth statement, the difference between the final scores of the gold medalist and silver medalist, as well as difference between the final scores of silver medalist and the bronze medalist, was 1 meter. That means if we have the score of gold medalist as X, then the score of silver medalist should be X minus 1 and that of bronze medalist should be X minus 2. And we are asked 6 questions based on the information that is given to us. Now, if you look at the questions, which two players got the double, who won the silver medal, who threw the last javelin in the event, what was the final score of silver medalist, which of the following can be the final score of P8, and by how much did the gold medalist improve his score in the second phase. So we are given with a lot of information. So you need to do a lot to answer this question. And I consider this question to be difficult. So this is my overall analysis of LRDI section of CAT 21 slot 3. So we have one easy set, two moderate level sets and one difficult set, and this is similar to LRDI section of CAT 21 slot 2. I will be starting my attempt with set 3 bar graph, then I will be attempting set 1 and then set 2, and I will be leaving set 4 for sure. Now I will be solving set 1 after set 3 because I consider puzzles to be one of the areas of my strength. And also one more advantage we have is you are asked 6 questions based on set 1. Moving ahead to set 3. Now first let's interpret the bar graph into a table. Let's see how. So if I consider project 1, you have A, B and T working in project 1. A worked for 2 months, B worked for 2 months and T worked for 2 months. And A had completed 100% of the assigned work, B also had completed 100% of the assigned work, whereas T completed only 80% of the assigned work. Now let's fill the same for project 2 as well. So for project 2, you have D working for 3 months, completing 90% of the assigned work, and T working for 2 months, completing 100% of the assigned work. Now coming to project 3, you have A working for 2 months, completing 100%. B worked for 4 months, 75%. D worked for 3 months, completing 100%. Now project 4, we have A working for 5 months with 80% completion. D worked for 2 months with 100%. And T worked for 3 months, completing 100%. Now coming to the last project, project 5, we have B working for 3 months, completing 90%. Now D working for 1 month, 100%. And T working for 2 months, completing 100% of the assigned work. And also let's parallelly determine the completion index. For that, let us assume that each person is assigned 1 unit of work per month. So in 2 months, he was assigned 2 units of work, and in project 1, he had completed all the 2 units because A has completed 100% of the assigned work. So the completion index here will be 2. This will be 2. This will be 80% of 2. That will be 1.6. So here, this will be 2.7. This will be 2. This will be 2. 75% into 4. This will be 3. This will be 3. 80% of 5. So this will be 4. This will be 2. This is 3. This will be 2.7. This is 1. And this is 2. Now we have the time period for which these 4 persons had worked for all these 5 projects. We also have the data with respect to percentage completion of their assigned work and also the completion index. Now let's move ahead to solving these 4 questions. Now which of the following statements is or are true? The total project month was the same for the 4 employees. Okay, this we had already discussed. Now for A worked for a total of 9 months, B worked for a total of 9 months, D worked for a total of 9 months, T worked for a total of 9 months. The total employee month was the same for the 5 projects. The total employee month for project 1 will be 2 plus 2 plus 2, that is 6. This will be 5. This is 9. This is 10. And this is 6. Now this is not true. So the answer for this question should be option A, only 1. Now moving ahead to second question. Which employees did not work in multiple projects for any of the months in 2020? Now to determine if we have any person working in multiple projects in the given period, he should be working in more than one project. Now do we have any overlap between the months that A had worked in these 5 projects? So A worked in months February and March in project 1. Then you do not have A working in project 2. Then in project 3 he worked in the months of May and June. So in project 4 he worked in the months of July, August, September, October and November, and he did not work in project 5. So you do not have A working in multiple projects. You need not do this much to answer this question. All you need to do is you need to check whether there is any overlap in the months that these persons are working. Okay, so there is no overlap here. Do we have any overlap for B? No. Now let's check for T. We do not have overlap here. There is no overlap here. There is no overlap here. But you have T working in projects 4 and 5 in the month of September. So you have T working in multiple projects. Let's check for D as well. So there is no overlap here. There is no overlap. No overlap. So we have only T working in multiple projects. So the answer for this question should be option B. Now moving ahead to third question. The project duration measured in terms of number of months is the time which at least one employee worked in the project. Which of the following pairs for the project had the same duration? Now you need to find the duration in which you have at least one person working. Now we are not asked to find the projects which had the same employee month, right? We are asked to find the projects which had the same duration. So duration is different from employee month. Now let's start with project 1. So we have project 1 starting on Jan, ending in March. So this duration is 3 months. So you have 1, 2 and 3. Now whereas project 2 starting and ending 1, 2 and 3. Right. Now coming to project 3, start and end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So project duration is 5 months. Now coming to project 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. And coming to project 5, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the project duration of project 1 is 3 months, project 2 3 months, project 3 5 months, project 4 5 months and project 5 4 months. Now for that let's consider project 3 and project 5. So project 3 had 5 months, project 5 had 4 months. So this is not the answer. Project 4 and project 5, 5 months and 4 months can't be the answer. Project 1 and project 5, project 1 3 months, project 5 4 months can't be the answer. Whereas project 3 and project 4 had the same duration of 5 months. So the answer for this question should be option D. Now coming to fourth question, the list of employees in decreasing order of annual completion index. Now we had already determined completion indices of all these 4 persons working in these 5 projects. Now we need to arrange them in the decreasing order. So for A, that would be 2 plus 2 plus 4, which is 8. Now for B, that will be 2 plus 3, which is 5. 5 plus 2.7, that will be 7.7. For D, that would be 2.7 plus 3, 5.7, 7.7 plus 1, 8.7. And whereas for T, that would be 1.6 plus 2, 3.6, 6.6 plus 2, 8.6. So if I arrange these 4 persons in the decreasing order of their annual completion index, the first person will be D, followed by T, then A, then B. So D, T, A, B. So the answer for this question should be option B. And this completes the set. So this is one set you should not have left in CAT 21 slot 3. Now moving ahead to next set. Set 1. Three reviewers, Amal, Bimal and Komal, are tasked with selecting questions from a pool of 13 questions, 1 to 13. Questions can be created by external SME or by one of the three reviewers. Each of the reviewers either approves or disapproves a question that is shown to them. Their decisions lead to eventual acceptance or rejection of the question in the manner described below. If a question is created by an SME, it is reviewed first by Amal and then by Bimal. If both of them approve the question, then the question is accepted and is not reviewed by Komal. If both disapprove the question, it is straightforwardly rejected and is not reviewed by Komal. If one of them approves the question and the other disapproves it, then the question is reviewed by Komal. Then the question is accepted only if Komal approves it, right? Now, if we have all these three persons, Amal, Bimal and Komal reviewing any question, I can directly say that that was created by SME. And I can also conclude that one between A and B approved that question and the other person disapproved it. So that's the reason it was sent for review to Komal, right? Now, if a question is created by Amal, then it is first reviewed by Bimal. If Bimal approves the question, then it is accepted. Otherwise, it is reviewed by Komal. The question is then accepted only if Komal approves it. A similar process is followed for questions created by Bimal, whose questions are first reviewed by Komal and then by Amal only if Komal disapproves it. Questions created by Komal are first reviewed by Amal and then if required by Bimal, and the following facts are known about the review process after its completion. So we are given with additional 4 statements and we are asked 6 questions based on the given information. Now, in order to solve this set, all we need to do is we need to insert the information that is given to us into this table. Now let us see how. Now before that, if we have SME creating a question, it will be first reviewed by Amal and Bimal. Now if one of these two persons approves this question and the other person disapproves that, it will be sent to Komal for her review. And similarly, if we have Amal creating any question, it will be first reviewed by Bimal and if necessary, it will be reviewed by Komal. And similarly, if we have Bimal creating any question, it will be first reviewed by Komal and if necessary, it will be reviewed by Amal. And if we have Komal creating any question, it will be first reviewed by Amal and then reviewed by Bimal if necessary. Now, in statement, it is given that questions 2, 6, 9, 11 and 12 were rejected. So, question number 2 is rejected, 6 is rejected, 9 is rejected, 11 is rejected and 12 is rejected. So, all the remaining questions were accepted. 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 and 10 and 13. So, these questions were accepted. Now, Amal reviewed only questions 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 and 13. So, Amal reviewed 2, 3, 4, then 6, then 8, then we have 10, then 11 and 13. Now, Bimal reviewed only questions 2, then we have 4, then 6 through 9. So, that means 6, 7, 8 and 9. Then we have questions 12 and 13. Now we have Komal reviewing questions 1 through 5. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Then you have 7, 8, 9, then 11 and 12. Right? Now if you look at first question, you have only one person reviewing first question and that question got accepted. So that means Komal approved this question. Now we have only Komal reviewing it and approving that question. So I can say that this question is created by Bimal. Now coming to question 2. We have Amal, Bimal and Komal, all these three reviewers reviewing that question. So that tells me that this was created by SME. And this is rejected. So if this question is rejected, we have Komal disapproving that question. And since this question was sent to Komal for her review, you have one person between Amal and Bimal approving this question and the other person disapproving that question. So if Amal had approved this question, Bimal would have disapproved that question and vice versa. Done. Now coming to third question, you have Amal and Komal reviewing that question. So this question is created by Bimal. So any question created by Bimal will be first reviewed by Komal. Komal disapproved this question, then went to Amal. Amal approved this question and that's the reason this question got accepted. Now coming to question 4. Now we have all these three reviews reviewing this question. So this is created by SME. Komal approved this question, and one between Amal and Bimal approved the question and the other disapproved this question. Now coming to fifth question. We have only Komal reviewing that question and fifth question got accepted. So we have Komal approving that question. So this question got accepted just by Komal approving that question. So this is created by Bimal. Now coming to sixth question, and you should be careful when you have questions reviewed by only Amal and Bimal. The reason being, if I look at sixth question, this is rejected. So there are two possibilities. Either this question is created by SME or Komal. Now if we have SME creating sixth question, and since this got rejected, we have both Amal and Bimal disapproving this question. Now if this question is created by Komal, so that will be sent to Amal for his review. Amal disapproved this question, then it was sent to Bimal, where Bimal disapproved this question. Right? Now sixth question could have been created by either SME or Komal. We do not know that. Now coming to seventh question. Now we have Bimal and Komal reviewing this question. So this was created by Amal. Now any question created by Amal will be first sent for review to Bimal. We have Bimal disapproving this question, then sent to Komal for her review. We have Komal approving this question, hence seventh question got accepted. Now coming to eighth question. Now we have all the three persons reviewing this question. So this was created by SME. Komal approved this question. Now one between Amal and Bimal approved the question and the other disapproved this question. Perfect. Now ninth question. This is rejected and this was reviewed by Bimal and Komal. So this was created by Amal. Now any question that was created by Amal will be first sent to Bimal for his review. Bimal disapproved this question, then sent to Komal for her review. Komal also disapproved this question, hence this question got rejected. Now coming to 10th question. So we have only Amal reviewing that question. Amal approved this question. Now if we have any question being accepted just by Amal approving it, this question is created by Komal. Now 11th question got rejected and it was reviewed by Amal and Komal only. So this is created by Bimal. And if that's the case, any question created by Bimal will be first reviewed by Komal. Komal disapproved this and then sent to Amal. Amal also disapproved this. Hence the question got rejected. Now coming to 12th question. You have Bimal and Komal reviewing this question. So Amal created this question. First sent to Bimal for his review. Disapproved it. Then to Komal also disapproved that. Now we have 13th question being accepted, which is reviewed by Amal and Bimal only. Right. So this question can either be created by SME or Komal. You have two possibilities. Now if this question is created by SME, and since this question is accepted, we have both A and B approving this question. Now if this question is created by Komal, the question created by Komal will be first reviewed by Amal. Now if we have Amal disapproving this question, then it will be sent to Bimal for his review, and Bimal approved this question. Hence the question got accepted. Now once you had made this table, now we have all the information that is required to answer all the 6 questions which were asked based on the given data. So if you had managed to solve these two sets in the exam, you would have got 99 plus percentile in the LRDI section of CAT 21 slot 3. And I will be stopping this video here and I will be solving the remaining 2 sets in the part 2 of this video. Now if you find this video useful, please like this video. For more videos of this kind, please subscribe to our channel and please share this video with your friends who are preparing for CAT so that you can ace the CAT together. Right? So see you guys in the next video.